The company you call MicroSlop is now installing AI spyware using this same playbook they've been running for 24 years. Last week, Microsoft CEO told critics to move on from complaints about AI quality. The response? MicroSlop trended #1 on Twitter. This isn't new. From charging you for free online gaming in 2002 to shipping consoles designed to break to blocking free DLC so they could sell it instead, Microsoft has always chosen profit over you. Here's the pattern they keep repeating, the new threat they're forcing on Windows 11, and how to finally break the cycle. We're going back to 2002 to see how this works, because that's when Microsoft established the playbook they're still using today. Taking money for nothing. Online gaming was just starting on consoles. PlayStation 2 had a network adapter that you bought just once, and online play was free. Same with Nintendo's GameCube. A few months later, Microsoft launched Xbox Live and decided to charge its users $50 a year. For what? Not dedicated servers, your console connected directly to other players. Peer-to-peer networking. Microsoft wasn't hosting anything. They literally charged you $50 for a friends list and voice chat. Sony saw people were willing to pay and thought we should do that too. Now, PlayStation Plus costs $80 a year. Microsoft normalized charging for services that were free, and every competitor followed. That's betrayal #1. Charge for nothing, make it the industry standard. Shipping hardware designed to fail. The original white Xbox 360 had a 54% failure rate. Over half of them broke down. The red ring of death. I got mine in 2006. Played Halo 2 multiplayer every day until the console died. Called Microsoft support, they said they'd fix it. 4 weeks to receive a shipping box, another month to get it back, and when it arrived, still broken. I sent it back 6 times. 6 separate attempts. Each time they returned a broken console. On my 7th call, support told me, "You're no longer covered by warranty." Their actual fix? Sell a new model, the block Xbox 360. This one works. They didn't recall the defective consoles, they didn't extend warranties properly, they sold you a replacement and kept your $300 from the broken one. That's betrayal #2. Sell broken products, offer fake support, make you pay again for a working version. But it gets worse. In 2009, Valve wanted to release new Left 4 Dead maps for free on all platforms. PC, Xbox, everyone gets the same content at the same time. Microsoft said no. Not because it was technically impossible, because it set a bad precedent. If Valve gave away free DLC, other developers might do the same, and Microsoft made millions selling map packs for $15 to $20. So PC players got the maps for free on day one, whilst Xbox players got the same maps 3 weeks later for the small price of $20. Same content, same game, safe Microsoft designer wallet, inserting themselves as a middleman and taking your money. That's betrayal #3. Block generosity to protect revenue streams. Which brings us on to the final betrayal. Games for Windows Live. If you played Dark Souls, Fallout 3, or Grand Theft Auto 4 on PC between 2007 and 2014, you'll remember this disaster. Forced Microsoft account logins, constant disconnections, games that wouldn't save progress unless you were signed in. And when Microsoft finally shut it down in 2014, your saves were gone. Games you paid $60 for became unplayable or lost all progress. No warning, no migration tool, no refunds. They just turned off the servers and your purchased games were bricked. That's betrayal #4. Build mandatory systems into your products, shut them down when they're not profitable anymore, leave customers with broken software. 4 patterns, 24 years, same company. Charge for free services, sell broken hardware, block free content, abandon your infrastructure. Now it's 2026 and they're doing it again. But to understand how we got here, we need to look at where they practice these tactics on an even larger scale. Those gaming betrayals, practice runs. Windows is where Microsoft perfected forcing unwanted features on a captive audience of over 1 billion users. Because gamers could stop buying Xboxes, but Windows? Students need it for school, businesses need it for work, professionals need it for industry-specific software. You can't just leave. Microsoft realized they had leverage, and that's when the real experiment started. In 2012, Microsoft decided touchscreens were the future. Problem? Most people used Windows on desktop PCs with keyboards and mice. Their solution? Force a tablet interface on everyone. The Start menu, a core Windows feature since 1995, was gone, replaced with full-screen tiles designed for fingers, not cursors. Users hated it. Businesses refused to upgrade. Microsoft's response? You'll learn to like it. 3 years. 3 years of forcing a broken interface before they finally backed down with Windows 10 in 2015. But here's what matters. They learned they could force change and most users would stay. Corporate IT departments can't just abandon Windows. Students can't switch mid-semester. Professionals are locked into industry software. Microsoft realized they owned you. And that's when surveillance became standard. Windows 10 launched in 2015 as a free upgrade, except it wasn't free. The cost was your data. Telemetry data tracked every program you opened, every file you accessed, how long you used your computer, what you typed, where you clicked. Microsoft called it improving user experience. Security researchers called it spyware. And you couldn't fully disable it. Even on professional and enterprise versions, you could only reduce it to basic level, which still sent detailed logs of your system activity to Microsoft servers. Third-party tools like ONO Shutup 10 became necessary just to stop your own operating system from surveilling you. That pattern again. Force a feature, make it nearly impossible to disable, and normalize it over time. Windows 10 introduced another problem, mandatory updates. You couldn't skip them, you couldn't delay them permanently. Microsoft decided when your computer would restart. And those updates broke things constantly. Drivers stopped working, files got deleted, systems failed to boot. The October 2018 update literally deleted people's documents and photos. Microsoft's response every time? We're investigating. Then they'd push another update to fix the update that broke the previous update. They took away your control over your own computer and made you a beta tester for their software, which leads directly to their most recent manipulation, the October 14th deadline lie. Microsoft said Windows 10 support ended. Your computer would be vulnerable. It was an immediate security risk. You needed to upgrade to Windows 11 or pay for extended security updates. 3 months later, your Windows 10 computer still works fine. The security risk was manufactured urgency. Here's the proof. Extended security updates exist and work perfectly. Outside the EU, it's free if you sync settings to OneDrive. Inside the EU, it's free with just a Microsoft account. However, many of you mentioned in the comments that you paid. The consumer ESU costs $30 one time through to October 2026. If Windows 10 was truly unsecurable after October 14th, 2025, then ESU wouldn't be possible. Microsoft can keep it secure, they're just choosing not to for free. They created artificial pressure to force Windows 11 adoption. And if you haven't already noticed, it's the same pattern, same company, new decade. Which brings us to today, January 2026, the AI surveillance era and the reason MicroSlop is trending worldwide. This is where all those years of practice come together. In May 2024, Microsoft announced Recall for Windows 11, an AI feature that takes screenshots of everything you do every few seconds, uses OCR to make it searchable, and stores it in a local database. Everything. Passwords you type, bank accounts you access, private messages, medical records, all captured, indexed, searchable by an AI you don't control. Security researchers immediately tore it apart. The database was unencrypted. Any malware on your system could access your entire digital history. Microsoft called it a privacy-first feature while building a perfect surveillance tool. The backlash was instant and brutal. Microsoft paused Recall in June 2024 after just 1 month. But if you've been paying attention to the pattern, you know they didn't actually stop it. 10 months later, in April 2025, Recall came back as an opt-in preview on Copilot Plus PCs, now with encryption, now requiring Windows Hello authentication, now supposedly privacy-focused. But strip away the marketing and nothing fundamental changed. It's still taking screenshots every few seconds, still building a searchable database of your entire digital life, still running AI models on your local machine that you can't fully audit or disable. And here's what matters. The infrastructure is built. The capability exists. Right now, it's opt-in, but how long until it's opt-out? How long until Microsoft makes it required for enhanced security features? They spent millions developing this. They didn't build it to abandon it after some bad press. They're going to slowly normalize it, just like they did with Xbox Live fees, just like they did with Windows 10 telemetry, until people forget they were angry. That's the pattern. Force it, pause it, rebrand it, force it again. Copilot, Microsoft's ChatGPT integration, is now in Windows 11, Office 365, Edge, Outlook, Teams, and even Notepad. You didn't ask for it, you can't fully remove it, and it doesn't work properly. Satya Nadella sent an internal memo in late 2025 saying Copilot integration with Outlook and Gmail is basically not working. His words, the CEO admitting their flagship AI feature is broken, but they keep forcing it anyway. Windows 11 now has agentic features, AI agents that can read and write to your documents, photos, and downloads folders. Microsoft's own warnings admit these agents might hallucinate or produce unexpected outputs. Translation, our AI might randomly modify your files, but we're not responsible. You're more or less beta testing unreliable AI that has access to your personal data without your consent on an operating system that you paid for. The MicroSlop moment. January 2nd, 2026, Satya Nadella published a blog post titled Looking Ahead to 2026. He said Microsoft needs to get beyond the arguments of slop versus sophistication when discussing AI. He asked people to stop focusing on quality problems and trust that AI will eventually be useful. The response was immediate. MicroSlop trended worldwide, not just tech Twitter, now known as X, but also on mainstream social media. Reddit created a dedicated subreddit within 24 hours because that statement perfectly encapsulates their approach. Force a half-finished product on millions of users, dismiss legitimate complaints, and then ask people to move on. Sound familiar? It's Xbox Live all over again. It's the red ring all over again. It's Windows 10 telemetry all over again. Charge for nothing, ship broken products, force unwanted features, dismiss criticism. 24 years, same playbook. And here's what Microsoft won't tell you. Every Copilot query, every AI feature, every intelligent suggestion, that processes on their servers. Your data leaves your machine, gets analyzed in their cloud, and comes back with a response. They say it's private. They say it's encrypted. They said Windows 10 telemetry was anonymous too. And when they inevitably get breached, when those AI training datasets leak, or worse yet, when governments demand access, your entire digital life is sitting in Microsoft's cloud, searchable, time-stamped, connected to your account. The goal is not to make Windows better, it's to make you dependent on their cloud services so they can charge subscription fees forever. One of you put it perfectly in the comments of our Windows 11 video. Windows isn't an operating system anymore. It's a data collection platform with an OS attached. Similar comments like they're not selling software, they're selling your data, or Windows is spyware with a desktop interface, or we're the product now, shows that you already know what Windows has become, and Microsoft is betting you'll accept it anyway. So what do? Option 1, strip the spyware. Stay on Windows 11, but remove everything you can. O&O Shutup 10 still works. Privacy-focused scripts can disable Copilot, remove recall, and block telemetry. It's a constant fight. Every major update re-enables features, but it's possible. Option 2, Windows 10 with extended security updates. You have until October 2026 with ESU. That's 10 months to decide your next move. Not permanent, but it buys time. Option 3, leave Windows entirely. Linux Mint, Ubuntu, Pop! OS. They're free, they respect your privacy, and they run on older hardware Microsoft calls incompatible. Gaming works through Steam's Proton. Office has LibreOffice. Most people's workflows don't actually require Windows anymore. The pattern won't stop. MicroSlop isn't an insult, it's a warning label. This is a company that has spent 24 years exploiting customer loyalty. Every apology is theater. Every pause is rebranding. Every opt-in eventually becomes mandatory. They're not going to change. The only question is whether you will. Subscribe if you want to stop falling for it. We expose every new MicroSlop move the day it drops, because this pattern, it's only going to get worse. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.